Hello, guys. I'm sitting here for the last year of my life going through the DNS, the Dark Night of the Soul. I think I'm on my way exiting the whole cycle. It took years, actually, if I'm being honest, from beginning to end, but I'm nearing the end. I can tell because the desperation of the people, the old energy around me is getting so overwhelming to I feel like they're testing me, which I'm thankful for the whole process. I feel like I set this up for myself, for previous generations of me set this up for myself for my growth, so I can be ready to lead my four daughters, so I can show them the way one day. But anyways, my point with this is, as you exit, first of all, when your eyes become awakened where you see the world a different way, which if you don't understand this, if you've never walked this, you're not going to understand what I'm saying. When you start to see people for who they really are, and you start to have a whole different perspective on the board, is the best way I can explain it, because I don't want to give too much away, because I feel like it's important for those walking it to do what I had to do. Find your own way. If somebody just gives you then you're not going to put in the work within yourself. You're not going to earn it. Everybody knows that everything that you earn in this life comes with struggle. So I feel like the struggle is important. So I don't want to give it all away, but when you start to see that, they know that you know what is going on. They know that you are now somehow seeing things differently. They know that the gig's up, and you can tell, you can feel it in their energy every time that they interact with you. Um, so I feel like we're fighting against the old energy, and I say this because this morning I went for a walk to get my coffee like usual. And when I came back, a neighbor of mine called me. As soon as I walked in the door, my phone was ringing, and it was a neighbor of mine calling me. Her name is Deb, which my mom's name is Deb. She reflects my grandmother to me. She reflects my mother to me. The old energy. She sends me a text because I didn't answer the phone, and she says, some black guy in a silver van drove by to see what house you were going into. And I felt sort of like that was a trap, honestly, because I come from a family of extremely racist. Even though my sister had two mixed kids, everybody in my family, they basically disowned her when she had Dougie and Asia. So they say that they have grown, but they really haven't in that aspect, and they always treated her unfairly, my sister. So I feel like we're fighting against that old energy, death to the old so the new can be born. So I found myself sitting here questioning, should I respond to that text message? Because I was going to say something along the lines of like, thank you, but I wonder what his name is. I'm sure it's not black guy. But I don't know. I'm to the point where, like, I don't know if I should even interact with the energy at all. Should I feed it? Should I stand my ground? Because I've learned that the really strong high commodity Decepticons, which I'm up against right now in this journey, they feed off of that. Any energy that you give them, they feed off of. So I'm not gonna respond, and I'll see how that works out. But I don't, I'll let you guys know if that doesn't work. Then I'll have to respond. But I'm going to think about how I want to respond to that, because I don't want to react, I want to respond. It's very important. I don't know. Death to the old, the old way of thinking altogether. And it's not easy. And don't fall down the path where, when I went through the dark night of the soul, I started seeing how past actions of mine contributed to what I was seeing and reflecting in the mirror world around me in the 3D. And I almost started to feel, actually I backslid 1,000,001 times, to where I started to feel guilty. And then you start vibrating in that low frequency state of being, and then you start attracting that back to you. It's all part of your growth. Don't let anybody tell you that you're a horrible person because you cheated, or you did drugs, or you're not a good mom, or whatever the case may be. Don't let anybody backslide you into that guilt state of mind, because I am who you see before you today, not yesterday. tomorrow or 10 years ago. It was all part of my growing. And none of us are perfect on this earth. And if you hold yourself in that state of being, you will be stuck forever. I'm 39 years old, and I'm just now painting and drawing my way out of, so I stop the cycles for not just me, but generations that are coming after me, ones that are already here. I don't want my kids to paint that same less than mentality that I lived in for years, which caused all them unhealthy choices. I mean, if I had self-worth, I would have never made half of them choices, but it is what it is. And don't live in it. That's my point. You can pull up there and visit for a minute, but get out. Pack and move out of that state of mind, or it's just going to suck you back in. During I've been going through this really heavy for the last 2 years, and there was times where I was on the sofa, didn't even shower for 3 days because I was in such a depressed, low, I felt like you have to face it all, let the emotions process through you, and then release it. There's no other way. I tried ignoring it. I painted a whole new persona of myself for 39 years, reflected who I wanted the world to see, but it was not the truth of what was really going on within inside me. So, I don't know. I'll keep you guys posted about what happens with the neighbor. I don't really know how to approach it. Should I we'll see. I'm gonna let her energy lead the way. If she approaches me when I go outside, which I have a feeling is what she's going to do, to tell me about this black guy in a van watching to see what house I went into, I'll feel her energy out. The more I awaken, the more I can feel the energy of the room just by walking. I don't even have to be anywhere near these people, and I can feel their energy. I can sense what they're saying. It's pretty intense journey, but one I wouldn't trade for the world. I'll keep you guys posted.